Cyberpunk's next expansion will contain a lot of new content according to a recent investors call, but it's not all good news. A big feature is getting scrapped while CD Projekt Red is going all in with their upcoming games and the next installment of the Cyberpunk IP. There's lots to talk about: the Witcher franchise, upcoming games, including the next-gen upgrade that we're getting next month, so let's dive right in. But Black Friday deals are up, so this is the best time to upgrade your gaming setup with Alienware and Nvidia. Also, a big thanks to them for sponsoring today's video. Their newest lineups of laptops are a perfect combo between mobility, design, and high performance, and you can get an extra 10% discount of your next laptop or desktop purchase using my code KhrazeGaming on their website on top of any existing sales. The X14 running with the GeForce RTX 30 series GPUs will bring your gameplay and visuals to the next level. With Nvidia's deep learning super sampling, your gameplay will feel as smooth as ever, even on the highest settings, by keeping those frame rates high throughout the most demanding scenes, giving you enough headroom to turn on the ray trace reflections to make the game really stand out and be more lifelike than ever. So totally hurry up and check out Alienware's deals using my links below, and don't forget that you can get the extra 10% discount with my code KhrazeGaming, but this one only lasts until Cyber Monday is over or until the 10 redemptions are used. But Cyberpunk's expansion will feel a lot different than the usual CD Projekt Red DLC formula, according to the company's CEO. Even compared to paid ones they launched before for Witcher 3 with the Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. There wasn't any clarification on that, as it will be part of the marketing campaign, but the construction and nature of Phantom Liberty will differ from the ones of Witcher 3. While the full extent of the content we'll get hasn't been made clear just yet, between the short teasers and the limited marketing so far, it was later stated that, and I quote, "there will be a lot of new content in it" when talking about Phantom Liberty. It definitely seems CD Projekt Red is confident that the game is on track to reverse the sentiment following its troubled launch, and are fully expecting the expansion to be a key moment to solidify that in 2023. The company has already seen a massive jump following the launch of the Edgerunners update last month and the Netflix series, which boosted the daily players count for the game to more than 1 million between all of the platforms. And it's highly likely that these types of cross-promotions will continue for future games too, as CDPR seems to be very interested in the area of film and TV as per their latest investors call. Good to note is that the group holds all the rights to the Cyberpunk franchise, including for movies and TV shows, unlike for the Witcher series where they only hold the rights to the video game side. But that's likely to still benefit them, as we already saw they had 2 games in a row getting huge spikes in both new and returning players as a result of these cross promotions with their respective TV series. I think what they've done so far is really smart, and can totally see them expanding even more into these types of medias based on their gaming series. That being said, I would not expect anything new for Cyberpunk 2077 and its Edgerunners, as it definitely seems to be more of a one-off deal. In an interview with Famitsu from a while back, CD Projekt Red's Japan community manager confirmed that there are no plans to continue the story in Edgerunners. Yes, it sounds harsh considering the show's popularity and recent nomination at the Game Awards, but that's mostly because CD Projekt Red wants to move on to the Cyberpunk sequel as soon as possible. How soon, you might ask? Well, pretty much right after Phantom Liberty comes out in 2023, as the company wants to start working on the next AAA game in the Cyberpunk universe pretty much right away. So far we know it by its codename Project Orion, and that it's getting fully developed in Unreal Engine 5, but now we also found out it's going to get developed by one of their new studios in North America rather than the main one in Poland. I'm not too worried though, because it looks like the entire core team that already worked on Cyberpunk 2077 will be moving to Boston to focus on the new project and be the foundation of the new team. This much has been confirmed by Paweł Sasko, the new quest director for the company, and will further get help from the devs back in Poland and the ones in Vancouver. With these many big projects and the new studio, CDPR confirmed they are looking forward to increase their team size even more. At the moment, the company has over 1,200 employees, but are looking to add at least 350 to 500, both for Poland and their North American hubs. When asked about the reasoning behind choosing the US and Canada for their newest studios, the company's CEO mentioned that they want to employ talented and experienced developers from that region and not other reasons, which sounds awesome, to focus on getting the best people for the job and get this franchise at the level it deserves. It's not all good news though, depending if you care about this feature or not, but it looks like there won't be a Cyberpunk multiplayer after all, as the mode was confirmed scrapped for Cyberpunk 2077, though it could still return in the sequel. Instead, their previously revealed strategy update to include multiplayer in their games mostly referred to the future releases, the ones that will be developed on the Unreal Engine. From the looks of it, they want to make multiplayer become an extension of the single-player experience. We want players to be able to experience the stories we tell together, which to me sounds like co-op rather than something of a more competitive nature. With CDPR confirming most of their future games featuring this multiplayer, I wouldn't rule out the possibility for the Cyberpunk sequel to also include that. For now, the only project confirmed officially by name to have multiplayer is Project Sirius, set in the Witcher universe and developed by the newly acquired Molasses Flood studio. This will feature both a single-player campaign with quests and a story, as well as a multiplayer gameplay on top. But they did mention in a different interview that most of their future games will contain some multiplayer. And speaking of The Witcher, this is likely going to be the company's busiest franchise, with 2 new releases, a remake of the first game and the next-gen update for The Witcher 3 that's about to drop on December 14. The update will feature a whole range of visual and performance enhancements for Witcher 3, including the faster loading times of the next-gen consoles, ray tracing, all the DLCs to date, and some brand new content too, which mostly comes in the form of some new missions inspired by the Netflix show and alternate looks for Dandelion and the Nilfgaardian soldiers, plus a lot more like photo mode which is in there, fixes, as well as new camera options to more reflect the current types of third-person RPGs. The timeline for the other Witcher projects is a bit more ambiguous, but we know that there's at least 3 other games confirmed next, starting with Project Polaris, or what we know of Witcher 4. This is going to be the next installment in the franchise, already in development in Unreal Engine 5, and will aim to create a new AAA RPG trilogy. After this, expect The Witcher 1 remake to come out next, codenamed Canis Major, currently in development at Fool's Theory and supervised by the original Witcher team. According to CD Projekt Red, this will be based on the Polaris technology, so expect a lot of gameplay similarities and maybe even a few features being borrowed by this Witcher 4 that we didn't see yet. And finally, there's Project Sirius we just talked about, that like single-player campaign that also has multiplayer, also set in the Witcher universe, the most different but also the most far off in terms of development. But CDPR wants to move beyond their most popular franchises with a third new IP called Project Hadar. There were a lot of speculations what this could be, including a possible connection to Thorgal comic series, another fantasy adventure that contains elements of the Norse mythology, and there's also like a Polish author that contributed to it, but recently that's been officially disproven by the company's president, and instead the concept will be entirely driven from within the studio without any use of third-party licensing. According to a recent investors call, this was started a few years ago from scratch, but it's currently in a very early stage and likely the most far-off project of all the planned releases, with CDPR confirming they are currently just on conceptualizing the world and not the game and its features, unlike the Witcher and Cyberpunk series that already started with their own created universes, so they only had to make the gameplays on top. And yeah, this is pretty much it with what follows next in the franchise, as well as everything else that CD Projekt Red has lined up on top. It looks very interesting, but still quite far off, and it's still a lot of time to go until the next Cyberpunk sequel. But from the looks of it, it's probably not going to take as many years as 2077 did, given the fact that the whole team now went through the full experience, even the hard times, and have a much easier engine maybe to work upon. This is pretty much it with the news. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.